Welcome
Patsy Golden.
back. Oh my God. It be your own kind.
In the lion's share, we break it down from the first row to the touchdown. Football spirit fills the air. Hear the call, it's the lion's share. It's the lion's share. It's the lion's share. It's the lion's share.
Welcome back. Welcome into the Lions Share following the Chicago Bears matchup in week 2. The Lions start off their home record with a solid 1-0, beating the Bears 52-21. That's right. We had a 50 burger. I don't know about you guys, but are you surprised that a 50 burger was on the menu today?
I don't know if I'm surprised. I felt like a ton of pent-up aggression from laying an egg last week and also a Ben Johnson revenge game. So felt good. That felt like something the Lions and the fans needed after last week.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think the 50-pointer was on the table entering the game, but it became one of those situations, and I think I texted it to you guys. The Dan went full, you're locked in here with us for 60 minutes mode. And
You're going nowhere.
I thought we might not see Kyle Allen. I thought that was going to be JG 16, 4 quarters.
All the way. Just foot to the pedal to the metal, foot to the floor. I meant to mention it in our halftime capsules, Andrew. What was the thing that we always used to say going into going out of halftime, really? What did we always say?
You either got to score or get a stop.
That's a good one, but not the answer I was looking for.
Oh no. He said
It's your famous line. What would you always used to say?
Don't do this.
When we were trying to put teams away.
Oh, you gotta twist. You got your foot
Step
on the
on the
throat, you
throat.
gotta twist. That's a great point, man. I totally forgot about that. I lost my edge.
It's tough to sling so much baloney that you forget your own catchphrases.
Hey, it's week 2. It's week 2. We're still, just like the Lions were, we're still working through some things. We ramped, as Dan says, you don't really know who a team is until week 5 or 6. So I think we're still kind of in that category. While a lot of today felt like, thank goodness, a lot of peace of mind came from today. I think there's still more to be seen, and we'll discuss that here on the podcast. We're going to break this game down. We'll talk about the NFL as well, and then get you out of here for closing time and recap our pigskin picks, or our pigskin spin picks, I should say. As always, you can watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on Spotify video, and anywhere that you watch us. If you could, like, subscribe, rate us. Those are all very important metrics to us and help this show grow. So we thank you, shareholders, for being here. We're happy to have a Victory Monday if you're listening to this on Monday. After last week's performance against the Packers, the Lions get touchdowns from several guys. They got touchdowns from Monty. They got 3 of them from St. Brown. Brock Wright got involved. Gibbs and J-Mo all in the category of a touchdown today. And the defense with 2 turnovers could have been 3. Andrew, how are you feeling now that after last week, we've been shooting for the stars with the turnovers, the takeaways, whatever you want to call it. We came up with a blank last week against the Packers. Now with 2 this week, that gets them kind of back on pace.
I don't know if it's back on pace. I still think we're behind schedule on those. We did throw out quite the lofty number, but you can't have turnover you get called back because of penalties. That's the big takeaway. I think there was a couple stupid ones that Dan will get after guys, but you can't shoot yourself in the foot. That's the name of the game.
And on the day, honestly, at one point they only had 1 penalty on the whole game, I think in the middle of the 4th, and they had a couple late ones. So they ended up with 3 penalties to Chicago's 8. So a relatively clean day there. Over 500 yards of offense. Do you guys feel like all the noise that we heard about John Morton not being able to be the Ben Johnson role, do you think that puts it to bed at this point?
I don't know if it'll put it to bed. I feel like NFL fans are like cornerbacks or goldfish. Shout out Ted Lasso. Short memories. It's a week-to-week league, and I think this definitely helps. I think again, this is what the fans and the Lions needed in the locker room. But God forbid the Lions play the Ravens really tough next week. I'm sure we'll hear a lot of the same noise. But for me, it answered a lot of questions.
Mitchell, nail on the head. It answers a lot of questions, but we're forgetting who we got next, who we got rolling up. We got another tough team coming, and I'm sure the critics are going to be loud after that one before it, letting them hear it. And I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, it looked like a lot like exactly what they said. This is all stuff we've done before. That looked like all things they've done before. The Brock Wright touchdown, especially. A lot of, hey, look, it's coming over here. It's coming over here. Leak Brock Wright out to the other side. But then again, there was a couple series in there where it was just kind of lackluster, where it was, I don't even know what to say about it. I don't know if there was some missed assignments. Really just nothing. Kind of up the middle, get 2 yards. And then you're an obvious passing down. So those are, I think, the series they got to look at. And then obviously converting off of turnovers. We talk about the momentum swings here all the time. You've got to capitalize. That's not going to beat good teams.
Yeah, it was pretty tough on these guys in my halftime capsule, and it took Gibbs. If you look at the box score, Gibbs had a great game. It took him a long time, and he had to bust a 42 yarder, I think, 47 yarder maybe loose. Um, Other than that, they struggled. Then they just had that amazing drive where they just pounded it down their throats and capped it off with a play action pass touchdown to Brock Wright. That was vintage Lions from last year. So some good, some bad, but a lot more good than bad today.
Well, and don't forget too, you got Amon Ra coming out of the backfield on a few different plays. Don't see that super often. Usually he's coming in motion before you're getting him that ball. So him just straight up out of the backfield was a bit of a change.
Yeah, a little switch up there. Just trying to keep this offense, just adding some variety to this offense. I think that helps a lot. And you could kind of see it today. Touched on it in my halftime capsule. Really just looked like the offense that we know and love, that we remember from the last couple years, last couple seasons. It looked like a Ben Johnson offense today, to put it lightly. Did not expect them to get up to 52 based on how the first quarter and a half went. But that score before halftime was so huge. You could really feel the momentum with Chicago. Credit to the Bears and Ben Johnson. They were playing it well. They knew they were getting the ball out of the half, try to do a little 2-for-1 there, try to get a score before half, and then parlay it with a possession out of the half. But the Lions were able to do what they needed to do, score right before the half, give yourself some insurance. And then the defense, got to give a lot of credit to the defense for those turnovers, but also putting it away right off the bat out of halftime. Because if you allowed Chicago to march down the field, we could have a very different ball game. And it goes to your point, Andrew, about stepping on the throat and twist. I wish we would have mentioned that in the halftime capsule, but that's what I was thinking, and that's what I was looking for. And teams of old wouldn't have done that. And you can kind of see that Chicago's still going through those growing pains. They've got a new head coach, but they've had some of these players in place, and it's just, you can see they have those flashes. And as a Bears fan, that must be hard to do, because you see them, what they can be, what their potential can be. They're just not putting it all together. And I don't know if they have the right guys in all those right places, honestly.
I don't want to start it too early. I did see this out there. Is it too late to start or is it too early to start the storyline? Can Ben Johnson succeed without Jared Goff?
I saw that. Who said that, Andrew?
I think
Was it
Reisman
Rosenthal?
Rosenthal, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He also didn't have a very good. Did you guys see they asked him if he thought DC was running up the score, and he was basically just like, "What's he supposed to do? They don't kick field goals."
Went out there and missed one. So at that point,
Yeah,
Bates, who's normally reliable, by the way. Yeah, I don't think that. I think they did exactly what they needed to do today. And congratulations to Jared Goff. What is this, his fourth win now on a coordinator not named Ben Johnson or Sean McVay?
I mean, are we going to really congratulate him after him trying to jump into the Lions leap zone there? I don't know, man. I think you got to say all applause.
Honestly, I think that's the most relatable thing Jared Goff's ever done. Because I know I would be doing this. I would probably be lucky to get what the result that he had.
Watching that live was so tough. You saw him get his left leg up there, but he couldn't get the right leg around the
Oh no,
leg.
dude, he's just an
He was frozen in
injured
place.
baby giraffe. It's so tough to watch sometimes.
He got a little boost from I can't remember who was it. Was it St. Brown that helped him eventually boost his way up into there?
I
Well,
think,
and the 8-year-olds,
yeah. Well, then he
Into
got
the
on-
launch zone.
He went full reverse, Santa Claus with it, and was stuck in those kids' laps. And that little smirk on his face, you knew he couldn't move. He couldn't get back up. He needed help.
May have been my favorite moment of the game. Did you guys have a favorite moment from today?
Say it.
Vanillatron is just a disgusting freak. Like it's just this dude's. It has to be the best first 2 catches to start anyone's career in the NFL.
My God, 2 catches, 2 hands.
True.
It's crazy.
Mini Odell out there.
He's an absolute dog.
Mitch, you mentioned it. I mentioned it too. Why are we not getting this guy a little bit more targets?
I don't know why he's not more involved. It's crazy. Too many mouths to feed. That's the problem. Too many mouths to feed.
Yeah, two wide receivers today over 100 with JMO and St. Brown. Let me pull up the box score here. JMO had 108, St. Brown with 115, and even Leaf got involved today with 1 catch early. Saw a little bit more of Leaf early in the game, and then it kind of switched to Tesla as the game went on. But are we coining him IT or Vanillatron, or are we just kind of going with both?
I think it's whatever. It might have to be Vanillatron if he keeps making catches like this.
On a day that Megatron was in the building, right? They had a lot of guys in the building.
Oh, I'd love to see that dap up after the game. You know he got one for sure.
Who remind me who got the game balls? Brian Branch, Martha, Firestone,
AB,
Ford.
Firestone, yep, and AB. Shout out to the Amon Ra Sun God. Shout out to the Sun God fantasy owners. You had a very, very good day today.
Sure did. And
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
kidding. How many points is that?
God, I think PPR he had like 40, just about.
Andrew, you have something?
You touched on the game balls, and I mean, Dan, you gotta love Dan. He's such a classy guy. Remembered Martha's birthday, turned 100 on Tuesday, I guess. My oh my,
Wow.
she's still walking around, honestly. It's pretty crazy. Gives her the game ball. And she, honestly, for us, harping on Martha to sell the team and all this for all these years, sounded like such a sweet old lady with her walker there. She was so happy. You know, she's just pumped about all the money this team's bringing in, though.
Absolutely. Except for when the NFL shop accidentally leaks a 40% off code, Mitch.
Oh, this is the best thing that's ever happened. I mean, this is crazy. It ended. Did you guys jump on that? It was Gonzo this morning.
It was Gonzo last night. Tried to put the order submit, and it kept saying error. I missed it.
Oh, they caught you guys slacking.
That was
That's
the
so
lady
tough.
lion as well. She was trying to place an order for the dog hat. Couldn't get it.
Oh, you guys should have jumped on it.
Yeah, I should have added to cart and instantly bought it. I knew that something was up when it wasn't like published, and then I saw Reddit later, and I was like, oh, surely this was an accident. Folks, if you didn't catch it yesterday at some point, somebody realized that if you use the code on NFL Shop Team40, it gives you 40% off of anything, which typically never applies because jerseys and other things are immune to the discount codes, but not yesterday.
Try other numbers,
It's a
folks. We got Team
beautiful,
20, we
beautiful
got
day.
Team 30, we got Team 50.
That's what somebody said. If you tried after they canceled out Team 40, Team 30 was still working for a little bit longer, so you could get a little bit still. Yeah, that's a
It's
shame.
amazing.
Anyway, back to the game. What about the celebration with the homage to Ben Johnson with the stumble? What do they call that? The stumble bum?
Stumble bum. Yeah, that was awesome.
I thought that was inviting some unfortunate luck. Boy, am I glad this game ended the right way.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, this game really felt like it had chapters versus quarters. The game was so close, and it felt like could have been anybody's game early on, especially when Chicago punches it in to make it 14-21 in the second quarter there. And then next thing you knew, it was 45-14 Detroit in what seemed like a heartbeat.
Well, top of your head, do you guys have like what the turning point was for you in the game? I think you had mentioned something early, Ben, but like off the top of your head, what do you guys got?
Points
Gosh,
before
I
the
don't know if
half.
yeah, probably. Yeah, you go right down the field. Vanillatron's catch, you punch it in. I mean, that probably really was. And it honestly, if I had to pick a different one, it's probably the start to the second half, the defensive stand to start the second half.
100% it was one of those two.
That's fair. I was trying to remember when exactly the non-converted fourth down quarterback sneak was by Caleb Williams. That one seemed like that was like the severance from the coach to quarterback there. I don't know if you guys caught it. They zoomed in on a conversation that Ben and Caleb were having. Ben had his mouth covered up, but it clearly said something to the effects after the conversation was, if you would have done that, then we'd have the ball right now. And it was a very tough look because Caleb just walked
Ouch.
away after that.
Yeah, a little trouble in paradise there. I think you're right, Andrew. I think that was the starting point. That was the first domino to fall, and then there was a slight delay because they kind of redeemed themselves with a score, I think, after that, and then it was kind of curtains after that. But it's kind of back to my point about this team with the Bears and the young team and a new head coach. It's just Ben Johnson's trying to do things the right way. I just don't know that the right players, hint, hint, Caleb Williams, are in place there, and I think they'll have some tough discussions down the road here in that organization about, are we really putting ourselves in the best place to win? And I think it always starts with the quarterback, seems like. So not saying that Caleb's not a good quarterback because he's athletic. He can do it. I just don't know if he's the right fit for Chicago. But anyway, yeah, I think you're right, Andrew. That was the first domino, stopping them there. And then the defense really three parts: that, the score before the half, and then the stop for the defense. And then after that, it's kind of things started to fall out of place. And I touched on it at halftime capsule. I felt like the sacks were coming. Caleb had a lot of time. It was leaking out in a few of those opportunities, extending drives on third down, and Lions really put that to bed in the second half. Credit to Shep and that defense for the adjustments, something that AG struggled with. And, I was thinking back, Mitch, when you said that Caleb was just getting out so easily, and he was. But honestly, I thought back to some of those days. Mobile quarterbacks were always our worry coming into these games, and I think most of the time we would have accepted, Caleb Williams 5 carries for 27 yards today. We would have been happy with that a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I just think, yeah, I was probably being too greedy today. I feel like they were okay with him running out, which clearly worked. Dan said it in his post game. I think there's a lot of really good stuff on film, but there's definitely some stuff to clean up. That's probably one of the things you clean up. Um, but yeah, I mean, it obviously didn't hurt him in the long run, so no harm, no foul.
Well, and good on Muhammad too, because they got the Lions got so far ahead that they're in these obvious passing situations. They've got to pass. They don't really have time to establish a run anymore. That's when you have to get home. That's when it's the most important to get home. And Hutch wasn't really doing it today. He was definitely getting some teams. He was getting upfield. But Muhammad, he was able to at least get there on the other side after we lost Davenport.
Yeah, speaking of Davenport, for the shareholders out there who are curious about his condition, we're still figuring that out. He didn't give us much to go off of in the post game. Said something's going on, but he doesn't really know. It was kind of a very odd interview, but he did have ice on that shoulder, so clearly, obviously, a shoulder injury. But the severity we don't know until the test tomorrow. So we'll touch on that on Wednesday. We'll have more clarity on that. But you guys concerned about his durability?
Yeah, especially since we didn't really make a ton of moves in the offseason to bring in any veteran pass rushers. I think it's something to keep. And it's been always, I mean, his play has been solid. It's just, can he stay healthy?
Yeah, and very storybook for him to get a sack and get injured on the same play that he gets home to the quarterback. It's just, yeah, hopefully not a long-term thing with the shoulder there. He's had a lot of injuries. We know that. He's got, like, I talked to you guys about it in the group chat. He's got wraps like on his elbow, his wrist, his shoulder. He's patched up out there, and it just seems like he's always going to be fighting that injury bug. But they did get home to the quarterback 4 times today. Credit to me, I called for 2 turnovers and 3 sacks. Got 2 turnovers and 4 sacks in this one. Got a bonus one on there. Should have had 3, although BB got a little too handsy there on the quarterback to the head there, and canceled out that last interception. But what do you guys, Andrew? Do you want to talk a little bit more about how you're feeling about Aiden?
I mean, I'm glad he's healthy, right? I'm glad there's nothing major. Knock on wood. We'll find out really what happened later this week. I'm assuming he just, got a Charlie horse or something. Took a shot to the leg and it hurt for a second, and he's okay. Definitely gonna have to earn that $50 million, though, right, boys?
Yeah, price going down. Potentially. I don't know. I talked to you guys about it before the show. I hope that it's a ramp up and he will get better each and every week. I think we saw him already making strides after the Packers game into this one. Seemed like he's a little quicker. He's a little bit more in his form. Some of his moves, the spin moves around some of these offensive linemen are getting there. Mitch, do you want to touch on your point about the tight ends when he's lined up?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. It looked like what he was doing was instead of jamming the tight end, chipping the tight end, he would kind of take a step, pause, let the tight end cross his face, and then re-engage in his pass rush. I didn't really understand it from a few standpoints. Number one, you're stopping your own momentum. Um, and number two, I guess the two biggest ones are you're letting the tight end get a really clean release when you are right there. So um, someone would have to explain that to me. I didn't understand it. I've never really seen it, but again, I thought it delayed his pass rush several times today.
Yeah, once you pointed it out, I started noticing it. I'm curious to see if we see it against the Ravens as well. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people overlooked that. I didn't hear the booth mention anything from that, but the booth we had today was definitely not the A or the B team today. Vilma notably with several errors, including calling Brian Branch, Dion Branch, not once, not twice, 3 times, maybe even 4. Did we get a 4th?
It was at least 3 times in a row. I just don't know how many times he did it in total. It was ugly, to say the least.
I missed the call because as that was happening, I got a phone call from Papa. He was that excited about Brian Branch punching that ball out.
I had to talk to somebody. I thought Swift's career was over. He was down there grabbing his arm. That pop that you could hear through the TV was absolutely insane. Brian Branch put his head down and went in like a missile. Excuse me, torpedo.
Torpedo. Weren't we calling Anzalone the torpedo at one point? The way he was, I don't know. I might be misremembering there, but that rings a bell. For the longtime listeners out there, they might remember that one from a couple years ago. But yeah, Swift. I thought you're right. I thought he might be out of the game at that point. I thought we might have seen the last of him. He did find the end zone today, and did you notice the crowd hit him with the booze right after? Love to see it.
Good for him for having the presence of mind in a blowout to just hand the ball to the ref and walk back.
Yeah, if not, Ben Johnson, I'm sure, would have had some choice words for him and that whole team. Jared Goff with absolutely a Jared Goff stat line today. 23 of 28, 5 incompletions, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, not sacked once today. So, Andrew, I don't know how deep you've gone into looking at the offensive line, but were you happy? For those watching on video, you're going to catch because what he just mouthed to me. However, overall, what was our feeling towards the offensive line today? Because I thought it looked like we actually had a unit together today, working together, and it was gelling much better than what we saw against the Packers.
I mean, yeah, overall it was better, but I mean, that being said, the run game got started early. Ja was running outside the tackles, inside the tackles, and then when he couldn't, I think it was early in the second quarter, I believe, Montgomery really kind of turned it up and was going between the tackles, getting 5-6 yards a carry, and that's when you saw it. Play action pass, play action pass, play action pass. And that's what kind of, I mean, that just sets the tone for the offensive line. Gives them an extra second, especially for these younger guys. They're going to keep people in front of them. Looked like Sewell was kind of getting bullied around a few times on a few different plays today, so it'll be nice to go back and fully look, but obviously no sacks. Jared got pushed out of the pocket a few times, but was able to do smart things with the ball.
Should note, too, definitely was sacked on one of those plays. However, we had the offsetting penalties. I think we had an illegal contact on the defense, and the offensive Lions offense had a penalty as well. I can't remember what they offset. So no harm, no foul, but definitely would have added one sack to the category today. But yeah, overall, I thought they did well. I think I did see the moments that you were talking about with Sewell, which was uncharacteristic. He was still getting it done, but it just felt like he wasn't dominating like he once could or once has. And then Taylor Decker obviously was questionable coming into this matchup. Felt like he was never not going to play. But they did have him out there, and it was thank goodness, because I think it would have been a different game. Certainly wouldn't have put up 52 with Manu in there. I don't think.
No, but I tell you what, if we ever get the opportunity to get the other Sewell brother, bring him on over, because that guy can play football.
Yeah, Noah Sewell. Yeah, I absolutely would invite him with open arms. To your point about David Monty. He always runs hard against the Bears. His former team, of course, he's always running angry, as it is. He runs even angrier when he's going up against the Bears and his old team. So love to see that for him. Split backfield today, over 150 yards combined for those two backs. Right on schedule, receiving 334 yards in the air. And all of that equals over 500 yards. Kirby Joe got his one INT. And then Deion Branch caused that one fumble. So what's the math there with 15 games remaining? Still got to have about 2 a game, Andrew, for the turnover counter.
We got to do exactly what we did today. Get one or two extra here and there, and we'll be all right.
Good thing they have just like a total cakewalk of a schedule here coming up. No problems. I definitely think they can get a number of them against the Ravens for sure.
Derrick Henry, addicted to fumbling the football.
Absolutely. DeAndre Hopkins as well. Always a good day when Tyson Bagent is in the game for the Bears. Yeah, so that kind of gives you a forecast. If you didn't see any of this game, didn't see the final score, just look at the box score and you see that Tyson Bagent was in the game, and that should give you all the indication that you need. Andrew, famously, you wore the Chicago Bears hat on Walkthrough Wednesday as we previewed this matchup. We had mentioned retiring or maybe even burning that hat. What's the status on that hat?
For all the listeners, it's burned. Ash. For all the close listeners, I still got it. I just won't wear it. You happy? I do have a trip planned for Chicago, so I do need, a sick Bears hat while I'm there.
Big train guy you are. I know you're taking the train to Chicago. I just know it. Mitch, you missed it before you hopped on. Andrew was trying to decide which hat to wear. He ended up eventually, for those watching online, did land on the grit hat, which was a good choice. He was wearing a Vikings hat, though.
You wore a Lions hat to a Lions podcast. That's brave of him.
I know. You should have seen the Vikings hat he had on, though, before you jumped on.
No.
But I will say this: he also has a Ravens hat, and so I told him, Mitch, and you give me your feelings on this. I said, well, it worked. He wore a Bears hat in the walkthrough episode. they win. The Lions win. So I think he should wear the Ravens hat come Wednesday when we preview Lions Ravens.
I guess. I mean, I feel like he has to for the juju.
Cat's got to eat some birds. Okay.
Mitch, you just dropped in. Speaking of the Lions Ravens, you speaked. What am I saying? You just dropped in here and the opening line. And honestly, I have to say that I'm surprised. Ravens favored by 6 here.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive. I don't know. Obviously the Ravens went toe to toe with the Bills, couple of Super Bowl contenders, and then they beat up on the Browns today. I just think the talk more today has been the Packers are for real after what they did to the Commanders, and then the Lions just absolutely beat up on the Bears. So you think it'd be close. Six is a lot. So we'll get into that later in the week. I don't know about that line. That feels aggressive.
Absolutely, it does. And we all know, I will say this. It's not going to be a repeat of the last time the Lions were in M&T Bank Stadium there in Baltimore. It's going to be a lot different. And I love that it's in primetime because primetime felines, man, they eat. And Dan Campbell is so good in primetime. So I think that plays in their favor. But yeah, like you said, we'll touch more on that. I am surprised to see it at -6 though. Andrew, anything silver lining of the week? This is your segment, I think, that you created.
Yeah, man, it was a good day. It's hard to not see everything as silver right now. There ain't no gray in these clouds for a little bit, for at least one more week. Offense started really slow. Still put up 52 points.
And this offense is so momentum based. It always has been, whether it's Ben Johnson or Johnny Morton. If they get behind the 6, if they have issues, tanked, and it's over quickly. But if they're rolling, man, nothing but themselves can stop that offense. So to your point, yeah, I mean, you sometimes, like you said, Mitch, like you felt bad complaining about 28 points, but it's weird. They could have put up 42 in the first half.
Also, just the fact that it was a 14-point game in the first half with 3 turnovers. And it was very close, almost a 10-point game with 3 turnovers. So, yeah, it just felt like they left a little on the table. And I think if you read some of the comments from Lions personnel, they agree with that.
100%. Yeah, you just know what they're capable of, and you're right. Points off turnovers weren't exactly prevalent, especially in the first half. Could have done a lot more, and boy, oh boy, did I want to keep the score 52-14. 52-21 just seems a little bit more like the Lions of old, where the defense is giving up a lot of points, and I was really hoping for the defensive points per game, because I really think the defense played way better than 21 points today. It just kind of ended up that way. But it's a long season. They'll bring that score down, I think, or that points per game down. The defense will. Defense is going to start really coming into stride around the bye week, I think. Nicey or dicey segment. Anybody feeling dicey about anything, or are we all just feeling nicey after today?
I'm going to keep it at nicey. I did my complaining in my halftime capsule. I feel nicey.
I'm gonna say I'm nicey. I'm a little dicey on Jake Bates here. Indoor stadiums, you got to make them all. We got a little bit of a test next week outdoors.
Absolutely. We'll touch on the weather too. What other weather we got over there in Baltimore. But you're right. Yeah, Bates normally reliable, and honestly more reliable the further it is, it seems like, and missed a 55-yarder there, which is uncharacteristic of him inside the dome, like you said. So that does bring some worry. But yeah, I think we're all feeling pretty nicey after that one. I think I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but already looking at the Ravens game next Monday. Got an extra day to prepare, which is nice. But that is going to be a monumental matchup and a potential Super Bowl preview. And we'll touch on that on Wednesday. Andrew, you said that my shades had you feeling nicey. I see it in the notes here.
Oh, yeah. You were hitting me with some ice.
Oh, my God.
These are nice. I do think
Where'd you
these are
get
nice.
those?
I got them from the bachelor party in Oklahoma.
Hey, Ben, do me a favor and just look over your shoulder and scream, "Where's my super suit?"
Where's my super suit?
That was horrible.
Tommy, cut that. These shades, though, I'm not sure what lenses they have. For those watching on YouTube, you'll see, or Spotify video. Shout out. They make you feel like your eyes. I don't know. It's like a burning sensation. I'm not sure that those are OSHA certified.
Actually, Ben, before we go on, can I change my answer? I am
Yes.
feeling a little dicey about TA still. Shout out,
Ooh.
Eric. TA
Ye-
still a little when he you don't get to be in the NFL and jump on another grown man's back to make a tackle. That's crazy. It's starting to make me concerned. In
Yeah.
old school, I know his pick got called back, but the old school like get beat, just tackle a dude, PI, like, jeez, thought we were past that.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Also, him getting beat on the double move towards the end of the game was tough to see. On a day that the defense was pretty solid and felt pretty good about it, that was certainly not an area of nicey.
No nicey.
No, but I will say on touching on the cornerbacks, here's a positive. DJ Reed looked really solid today. I thought after having some concern about him
Agreed.
against the Packers, I was glad to see him have a bounce back game, and Lions needed it. They needed a get right game after that Packers one. They absolutely, it was almost a must win today. You can't win or you can't lose two in a row. Certainly back to back divisional games on a team that hasn't lost a divisional game in 2 years. So
Guys, is Amik Robertson out there?
he is. He was involved in the stumble bum recreation. He was the one that caught it.
Is he just doing that good of a bang up job out there that we're just not seeing him on camera? Is he CB1?
Certainly not CB1.
Nickel. He's in nickel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tough.
often the nickel cornerback. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of times, right? You're right. If you're not being mentioned as a cornerback or DB, that means you're doing your job. It means good things. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't dug into the defensive film enough to say, but he is out there. He is involved. I don't know how involved with this new secondary, some of the new pieces in there. BAM Player of the Week. Guys ready for BAM Player of the Week?
Why don't you start us off?
I think we're unanimous here. Spoiler
Pretty
alert. But
straightforward.
Sun God, 3 touchdowns, career high. He's absolutely him for it. And he was the one that got it started today. He was the one when the offense was sputtering a little bit. Who do you look to? St. Brown. And he's the one that got it started. He finished it. So give it to the Sun God for me.
I'm right there with you, man. And then I wanted to give Shep his flowers. Like you said, 21 points seemed like way too many points for how well this defense played. So you got to give it to him. They were kind of messing with him here in the media because he got a little angry in his press conference and he was just a little frustrated after the last performance. So good on him. Let your aggression out.
Mitch also has the Sun God. So it's unanimous here across the board.
I think there's just nothing to add yet. It's crazy. Honorable mention Vanillatron.
Absolutely, with a one-handed catch again. We'll look for that against the Ravens. But yeah, a lot of deserving folks out there today. Offense had a great day, 5 touchdowns across the board, a lot of yards, a lot of good things to say about the offense. Defense also had some stars today. So just a good day. Shareholders, you can vote below on Spotify in the poll. Right below the player, you will see, and you can make your nomination for BAM's Player of the Week. That's right. The S in BAMS stands for shareholders. Let's go to the halftime capsules, Tommy, before we touch on our picks from this week and close out the show with a little NFL talk. I mean, does IT even need 2 hands at this point? He seems to prefer to catch the ball one-handed. I'm starting to wonder if all those jug machine reps were done one-handed at this point. What an incredible play from him to set them up in a scoring position. Sun God finishes it off. Sun God has been in incredible form today on a Sunday, back in true form. The whole offense is from the last 2 seasons. I'm starting to see it today. The gelling is working with the offensive line, and they look like they're back in form. Watch for J-Mo to get some opportunities over the top in the second half. Defensively, 2 turnovers on the day. That's what I was looking for. 2 turnovers, 3 sacks. They haven't gotten in the sack department yet, but I think that's coming. 2 turnovers, huge for the game today. And great job scoring before the half because Bears are starting to gain some momentum. They do get the ball out of the half. Let's go Lions in the second half. Maybe we'll get some more Brock and roll. Shout out to Brock Wright for a touchdown there. Shout out to me for calling the JMO, who did eventually take the top off the defense and score.
Halftime capsule, Lions 28, Bears 14. Huge end of the half there. Had to have some points. Tesla is just an absolute savage. Everything he touches is a highlight reel. Would like to see, it's hard to complain about 28 points, but I'm going to do it anyways. 3 turnovers in the first half. It's only a 14-point game. Glad they got those points to close out the half, but feels like things are starting to gel a little bit better. Defense, a little communication error there on the first touchdown. Second touchdown, just a better drive from the Bears. Offensive line looks like they're starting to come together a little bit more. Looks like when Johnny Mo shakes up the play calling a little bit or just pounds the rock and pounds the rock, they're moving the ball, so would like to see some more of that. Honestly, started to click in the second quarter. Would love to see more running the football to open up the play action, keep it going in the second half, get a stop coming into the third quarter. Boys are looking a lot better than last week. Let's go Lions.
And for those keeping track, right at the 60-second mark. Maybe that's why there was some breaths in there, just really trying to pound it out.
Yeah, geez. It's crazy.
Very nice, very nice. Andrew, finish us off.
Before we get too off topic, Lions fans, Tesla, wow, walking highlight machine. This guy's insane. Still not sure what happened with the clock. I was happy with 1 second, so we'll see what goes. To the rest of the first half, though, defense, way to keep this offense in the game while they were sputtering. Crazy to say that we've got 28 points right now at the half, and it feels like the offense has been struggling. Johnny Mo and the offense have been working their way back into it, getting comfortable, getting things to go. Had a couple questionable series, but bounced back quite nicely. Defense, keep doing what you're doing. Keep pressure on. Hutch, you got to get home. Caleb Williams is starting to get leaky there. Don't let him beat you. Go out and close this game. Let's go Lions.
Step on the throat and twist. The only thing you missed there.
Tesla.
Now that I know.
Coleslaw. You guys both calling him a human highlight reel.
Speaking of which, did you guys I basically said what the cheerleader who was right there said. Did you see that? I had to rewind it.
Oh yeah.
I'm laughing so much.
I'm usually focused on the game, but that doesn't surprise me.
Wink.
Well, he was basically showing off. He did it right in front of her.
I heard he got her number afterwards. Did you hear that, Andrew? No, I'm being serious. You heard about that?
This is a PG podcast, okay, pal?
Not after the ice cream comment last week.
We kept the bikinis on.
It's true.
Oh.
It's true. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Andrew, I also wanted to touch, that's something we didn't talk about, was that 1 second left on the clock when there was a weird little situation we had there where one of the officials stopped the clock with 16 seconds because he said he was out of bounds, but he wasn't actually. So then there was a 10-second runoff. So they end up with 6 seconds. I think that was also a little domino in that stretch you talked about where if there was 1 point, I think that really took a lot of life out of the Bears because the Bears started running to the locker room, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. Ben Johnson didn't even have his headset on when Amon-Ra caught the touchdown. He was already...
Not a good look.
Yeah, he was already unstrapped, wasn't talking to anybody, and you get kind of left out on an island, and surprise, surprise, Jared Goff goes with a quick pass to Amon-Ra. Those two didn't even need to talk about it.
Chef's kiss. That was a thing of beauty. I loved seeing I think it was Ratledge and one of the other offensive linemen when they do announce that there would be 6 seconds on the clock, and the Bears are quite literally in the tunnel. The boys on the offensive line are giving them this for those watching. Come on back. Come on back. We got another play. And luckily with 6 seconds, no, they didn't have any timeouts, but they didn't have to kick the field goal.
It sounds like on
there.
the Jumbotron, Gibbs did a little wrangling, roped him back, pulled him back via the rope.
I didn't know he was a cowboy like that.
We're going to need to get that clip. That's That's all of what Dan wants, man. You're trapped in here with us.
Come on back. You're in our house. Yeah, absolutely. And one of 8 now, one of 8 home games that they'll have this year. 1-0. I did famously call for them to go 8-0 at home, so I got one. Here's the 7 more. We'll touch on Lions Ravens on Wednesday. That one will be on the road on ESPN and ABC. That'll be Monday Night Football, 8:15. We'll give you more details on that come Wednesday. NFL talk. I know a lot of people much has been made about the NFL Fox NFL score bug. Not a lot of fans. Not a lot of fans. Yeah, I don't like it. However, one of my biggest gripes, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like the play clock should be in any other position other than where it's at. It's too small, one, and it's right next to the 1st and 10. Sometimes it's on screen on the field. Other times it's on the bug. Just take in the dead center where the game clock is, and then the Fox logo or whatever it is. Take that and put the play clock right in the middle. That's where it should be, where everybody can see it.
It's crazy to me that the play clock is your complaint, but it's also even more crazy that it can be small when the score bug is so big.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like the proportions here. What are we doing?
Yeah, looks like one of Andrew's dessert plates.
I'm glad you put the S on the end of that. It's sheer respect out of you.
I've seen some things.
All right. Well, that was the Fox score bug play talk.
Talking NFL though, is there anything I'm really surprised the Broncos lost to the Colts. And the Dolphins are bad.
Dolphins might be cooked. Mike McDaniel might be cooked.
Yeah, it's looking that way. And it's not going to get any better next week against the Bills, I don't think.
No, Bills are on a run. Destroyed the Jets today. Sorry, AG.
Who do we have to end our evening?
We got none other than the
right now, right?
Falcons and the Vikings.
Vikings, who cares?
I care because this was my upset of the week, and the Falcons are up 6-0 currently with 4 minutes to go in the first. Andrew, shout out to you. Yours is the only one complete on the pigskin spin. You had the Eagles over the Chiefs. They get it done thanks to Travis Kelce's drop, which resulted in an interception, really changed that game. And then you took the Ravens over the Browns. So check. 2 points for you, sir. Mitch, you had the Ravens.
Was it Ravens over Browns, or do you take the Ravens to cover?
Either way, he wins, right?
Regardless?
He does. I can't remember exactly what we did.
No, I think he just took him to win. However, I think that is something we should implement.
Yeah, I think me and you had to pick upsets, did we not?
We did.
Yeah. So I got Rams over Titans in my game pick, and then I got Bucks over Texans as my bonus upset.
Correct, which will be tomorrow night. Yep. Which I think that's the one. I think if there's going to be an upside, it's either one of it's yours or mine or both of ours.
Yeah, you're scrambling because your first pick sucked.
All right, it's the resident Bronco fan in the podcast here, and you're telling me I should have picked the Colts over the Broncos?
No, I think it was a fine pick. I think you just caused the Broncos to lose.
Oh, it's on me. I apologize to the Broncos nation out there, the Bo Leavers out there. Colts are just that weird team, though. Like, I don't think they're. I don't know. I don't know if they're a playoff team, but here they are 2-0. So.
Ooh, no, I don't think so.
In their defense, the Broncos had that game won for what, like 4 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bo picks. That's what they're saying.
Ooh, Bo picks. Yeah, that's nice.
That late interception. Ooh.
It was so bad. Just stopped his throwing motion halfway through.
Well, it's better than a few other ones. We had the Caleb Williams in the game that we all watched today, which was just a wild tossed out.
How do you not throw the ball away? Oh, my God.
And then I don't know if you guys saw Russell Wilson. He tried to stop his throwing motion so hard that he threw the ball backwards, which was crazy.
And threw a pick right after that.
Russ cooked a little bit today.
Yeah, we saw all sides of Russ. We saw old Russ in a lot of ways. They lost to the Giants, or they lost to the Cowboys.
Oh, I know.
They didn't lose to themselves.
No, they didn't. Well, they kind of did. Aubrey with a 64-yarder to send that into OT, and then a late field goal in OT to get the dub. I felt like week 2 was crazier than week 1 as far as the rest of the slate goes for the NFL. I thought this was a good wild witching hour. It's a really solid slate this week. It had some surprisingly entertaining games. Like had no idea that the Giants Cowboys. I thought that was going to be just a laugh or a stinker, and here it was, one of the
Good
best
game.
games of the week. Yeah.
But
No,
Panthers made a comeback. Bengals Jags, good game. Hopefully Joe Burrow is. I just read turf toe with torn ligaments. That sounds extremely painful and uncomfortable. Um, and the poor future Mr. Swift may have caused the Chiefs to lose today. Tough luck.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Don't know if you guys saw much of the Rams Titans game, but Matthew Stafford looked pretty solid today. Almost 300 yards passing. Devontae had a day for you fantasy owners out there. Rams are going to be good. Rams are 2-0. Oh my God, this music starts playing every time I bring up the box score. Yeah, what else? Anything else? Obviously, the Chiefs lost to the Eagles, like you said. So, Eagles, Sirianni gets the last laugh again in Arrowhead. Andrew, kudos to you for switching that pick, by the way.
Kudos to both of you boys. You talked me into those Eagles.
Yeah, it just felt like one that they were going to win. I think the Chiefs here 0-2, they're gonna win some games here, but I think the Chiefs' reign is officially done. No Super Bowls for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that tight of a game, really come down to it right there at the end. Xavier Worthy surely missed, though. They need somebody over the top on that team.
Absolutely. Do we have a timetable for his return? Do you know?
I thought he was trying to come back next week.
Probably. Seems right. It seems like a good forecast for him. But you're right. They absolutely needed him. I want to retract what I said. No Super Bowls for the Chiefs. No Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're done winning Super Bowls with Mahomes, but no Super Bowl this year.
Are you more passionate about Chiefs Super Bowls or Patriots Super Bowls?
I'm definitely more passionate about the Patriots Super Bowls.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking in on that.
And I appreciate you. You're a good friend for doing that. So,
I know.
yeah, that about does it for the NFL talk. Like we said, there's the Sunday night matchup going on right now. We were hoping for a Vikings loss for the Lions to keep pace there in the NFL NFC North, and then also we got a double the NFL North, the NFL. What was it? What did the NFL? What if the NFC North used to be? NFC Central.
NFC Central.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then we got two Monday night matchups tomorrow, although one of them is very late. Chargers Raiders
One of them is
doesn't kick.
basically at like 3 a.m.
Well, it'll get done about 3 on the East Coast. It doesn't start till 10 o'clock. Yeah, Chargers Raiders. But
just
you
not
got an
breaking
earlier
the news
one
to
with the
me.
Bucks Texans. Sorry, Andrew. What'd you say?
You're just not breaking this news to me. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna catch it in the morning? Are you gonna stay up?
I mean, we got to have some caffeine pills or something around here.
Yeah. Even for me in Central Time Zone at 9 o'clock, that's just too late.
I mean, yeah, I do have a really annoying cat, so he'll probably just keep me up the entire time.
When there's a late game on, do you guys have the game on in the bedroom? Are you watching it in the
No.
bedroom?
I'm sleeping if I dare to walk into the bedroom to watch that game. It's just a laughable joke. I tell myself that I'm going to look at the score in the morning.
Yep.
All right. Well, we will be back. Anything else, boys? Closing comments? Anything?
If you guys
Fire
want
up chips?
fire way up, you need some fuel for that fire. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Took a beating.
To say that was BTA.
If you guys do want to feel better about week 1 as well, go ahead and take a look at the Chicago Bears subreddit. It's on fire right now.
Oh,
Love it.
I can't wait to read that and go to bed. That's going to be beautiful. All right, let's get you guys out of here. Let's put this podcast to bed. Thank you, shareholders out there. Become a shareholder today if you're not already. Like I said, like, subscribe, follow, rate 5 stars, share, all those good things. However you can do it on the platform that you're watching or listening to us on. We appreciate it. So we will be back, like I said, Wednesday to preview Lions and Ravens in Week 3 in the NFL. Until then, Lions now 1-1. Big win over the Bears today. Let's go Lions.
Roar.